Hi everyone, this is Dr. Sarah Yu, show host Dr. Sarah Yu Show, today's America and the World issue show, as well as Dr. Sarah for U.S. Senate candidate show, as well as U Light and U Vision TV broadcast show. Today I have a special co-host, Louise Eric Powell is joining me. We will share the weekly issues for this America today's issues and the world issue together. So, Luis Powell, can you introduce, welcome our show co-host. I'm very proud of you. He's since more than 3 years working with me for a research issue and older our campaign standpoint needed. He supported us. So we welcome to you. Can you introduce yourself?
Yes, well, this is Louis Eric Powell. It's a pleasure to meet all of you today, albeit virtually. I'm a lifelong Politico news junkie and friend and cohort of Dr. Sarah Sun Liew.
Welcome. I've been like elections since 2019, first congressional election, second senatorial, and now 2020 senatorial. So we plan together a weekly issue show together. I'm so proud of you, all your knowledge and experience in politics. So tell me about a little bit about your experience for at the White House. I think you are senatorial. Senatorial Senate office internship, right? Tell me about it.
I did. Well, yeah, it wasn't the White House. It was the U.S. Senate. I did 3 internships for my senator from South Carolina. He is deceased now, but he was a legend in American politics, and his name was Ernest Fritz Hollings, Senator Fritz Hollings of South Carolina, who was elected when John F. Kennedy was president. And he remained in office until 2004 when he retired. So what's interesting is South Carolina's senior senator was Strom Thurmond, the longest, I think he holds the record for the oldest senator in history. He was 100 years old at the time of his retirement. So Strom Thurmond was the senior senator, and the junior senator was Ernest Hollings, who was in his 80s when he retired. So South Carolina, you can see, does not elect senators often. A feature of Southern politics is that we tend to stick with the names and the families that we know. That's how it works in the South.
Oh, great. So I'm really impressed with that too. And so we have we researched last week. We have several issues, 4 topics. First, we have President Joe Biden, Union State. We want to review that, okay? And second, we want a China volume issue. Third, we want to talking about Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden's GOP investigations, those one we want to talk, as well as our postings we can talk about to, real about Dan and Lemons and Nikki Taylor, those the episode on CNN. So we can talk about any the starting about the State of Union address. Tell me about a little bit background that.
Well, the president's State of the Union address this year was very partisan, and it as the evening went on, it sort of devolved into comedy. I mean, it was not a serious speech. I think the whole event made a mockery of what is supposed to be a major annual political speech in our country. I think some of the Republicans were wrong for booing and standing up and heckling. Of course, the Democrats have their nuts too. Look at the people in the squad. It was not, I think the whole night was symptomatic of the dysfunctional political system that we have, and I was frankly not impressed. What about you? What about you? Did you like it? Did you think it was
You know,
substantive?
yeah, there is so many episodes. Like I'm a Republican candidate, so we see those episodes, the every media talk about the Biden by President Biden talk about Union states, mostly very comparable to Democratic Party to sounds good policy to them as well as I don't think so. He did many talking about China matter stun as well as the Ukrainians were some kind of he did the one thing we know that liar the talking about one of congresswoman when he President Biden talk the medical and then social benefit is 5 years sunset. So this matter when the Taylor Greens, Taylor Green, right? Taylor Green, Mary Taylor Green, the congresswoman, he was liar to Joe Biden. So because there is not fundamental true witness or finding for where is the really Republican try to sunset 5 years for medical and social benefit. I don't think so. So we should talk about something important matter in public, especially in Congress, as a president position should have research not live off in not like comedy, right? We have to whatever we talk we have to really serious considerations conversations bipartisan. This meeting was really comparable to Democrats. Sounds make him to hero, but in Republican side to even Mary Taylor Green, she said liar liar because of there is no big fundamental binding source to really where is the Republican agree that nobody agreed that to Republican not support those medical as social security benefit for the Americans. So I don't think so that is a good good approaching to make him to the elected sounds good candidate to 2024 November elections. I think that Biden his moral declined to Republican view because of those his on fundamental speech in as well as a Republican we are really important back to the economic growth, job creation, secure board, Ukraine war and China. Now we have more like funded for Ukraine war. The fund is million dollars funded. The money from our American taxpayer burden. So I think as president United States we need a great to see really a good conversation between as a president, not to a part of from two party. Now is in America, Congress has a problem, civil disagreement, which one is Democratic say yes, and Republican say no. Like even any funding like infrastructure fund, But any point, Democratic say yes and Republican say no. So we have those kind of, civil disagreement. As president, should not, reading as a partisan, to be not real more like this disagreement in civil way. So I think that, what do you think?
Well, the State of the Union is supposed to be a rather reverential occasion, and in recent years it has devolved into a partisan food fight. It used to be that presidents could get up there and honestly tell the people the State of the Union is not good. Gerald Ford was the last president to do that. He stood up there and said, "My fellow Americans, the State of the Union is not good." Can you imagine a president saying that now? They wouldn't. Every president now is so busy trying to tout their own accomplishment. They're thinking about reelection. Biden clearly was in that mode the other night during the State of the Union. So it would be nice to have a president who would tell us the truth again. The fact is the State of the Union currently is not good. Prices are too high. Biden is insulated. He's wealthy. He doesn't have the food prices don't affect him. And he is clearly living in some alternative universe, but that's the life of a president.
Yeah, I think many Democrats said the Biden, when Paul said that Biden is not really, because he's old enough, 81 years, this year. I think it's not good candidate. They think that's why Biden more make him to hero to, something his power and authority can able to do better than any other candidate. I think he addressed to many future the election, not like a present issues, which is we have so many issues, inflations, crime, security, religion. So I think that we should as president, we need support, even I'm a Republican candidate, whatever. So we need support president, what supposed to be support our American. I think the not only the elected focus on, so we have to really write things to the right things to do in the public, especially as president. I think that what I think that is our issue to talk about. And why don't we talk about that about China balloons? What do you think that China balloons problem?
Well, one thing we're seeing is that China in recent years, I mean, when I say recent years, I mean the last 10 years, they have really become aggressive. They're starting to feel their power and feel their authority. That is what happens when a country gets rich and when they acquire nuclear power. China has a lot of clout now, and they're starting to really show that, as they've said recently, the United States cannot contain us anymore. So they're becoming very bellicose and very aggressive. And these balloons apparently are just one of a number of strange flying objects that our government has shot down just several times this month. We don't know for sure what all of these things are, but we know that China is behind at least some of them, and it presents major challenges for us going forward. Are they trying to bait us into a war? Are they trying to ready us to potentially retaliate by shooting down a plane of congressional representatives going to Taiwan? Who knows what they're up to? But they've got some card up their sleeve, and we'd best be wise to it.
Yeah, I think the China balloon is just one issues for how China wants to steal our informations, not only secure important, we need really now we have this China balloon is violation of space, as well as the national security, as well as sovereignty norms, international alliance. So even we are even small balloons coming to our home yard, we try to make those balloon, even children's, very easy thinking to, oh, this balloon is not mine, and we wanna take back to someone else one. So we don't know how President Biden take long to even go 5. Even today, we see the Hawaii sky, there is balloons, balloons should immediately shooting down, but I don't know why, allowed to do long time from, all the way to Alaska, enter air until Alaska enters, and all the way enter the Atlantic Ocean, so they can steal like military, sensitive military informations, installations. Very, so finally they're shooting 9 out, but still, China is, what is China aims? What do you think? What is China aims? Yeah.
What are China's aims? Well, the fact is, they have satellites much higher up than these balloons can go. So they're already seeing things. If they want to see something, see it. I think the balloon was just done to irritate us and to let us know this is what it feels like to have your airspace invaded. They view every American plane that touches down in Taiwan to be an invasion of their sovereignty. So I think that they're trying to irritate us. They're trying to let us know we're not scared of you anymore. And I think they also could be planning to prepare us for some sort of retaliation against American diplomatic planes touching down in Taiwan. A congressional delegation has already announced they're going back to Taiwan in the near future. That could be very dangerous, but they're just showing that they're not scared of us anymore. And I think they think Biden is weak. The world thinks Biden is weak. And certainly he did not look to be particularly skillful with that first balloon, the way he let it go from Alaska down to South Carolina before he finally did anything. Biden is starting to act like a man being blackmailed. He acts like he's scared of them. My theory is I think the Chinese have some information on him and his family, and he knows, boy, I better play nice with them because they could embarrass me and ruin my presidency. That's all I can figure out at this point. Who knows
great,
what goes on in that head
yeah,
of his?
great. I think great thinking. So we talk about last part 1 today's show. We have another 30 minutes, but this is first 30-minute 15 and 30-minute show. So what do you think? Tell me about the background that Biden family pushed back against the GOP hearing request. Yeah, tell me
Yeah,
that.
well, Hunter Biden and his attorneys are fighting back against congressional request for documents related to the family's dealings. There's certainly more than enough there to be looked at. Biden's attorney Hunter Biden's attorney sent a letter to the Congress saying, we're not going to comply because the US Congress does not have the authority to request these documents. I don't know where they went to law school. Everybody knows that US Congress does have the power to subpoena people and documents. They can even go and get somebody, arrest them, and bring them there if they want to. That power has only been exercised a few times in our history, but it does exist. So Hunter Biden and his attorneys they're stalling, but the fact is the Congress can compel people to turn over documents. As Steve Bannon is finding out, he was Trump's political strategist. He refused to show up for hearings, turn over documents, etc. He was charged with criminal contempt of Congress and sentenced to prison. So Congress does have the authority.
So I think the Congress has no legal, prosecutorial authority at this point. But anyway, my